rarely subtle is rarely encountered even in millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, receive and maintain it. May we completely realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I suspect this is a row of a class that came. Are you all from the same school or different? Different? Same? Somebody say a word. Different. A good and mighty Zen phrase. Okay. So this is the start of our Ango session. And we are going to be working with the Lankavatara Sutra. And this somewhat connects with the Inka Shome coming up because when James gave Roshi Inka, he gave him the Lankavatara Sutra basically as his document of transmission. So Roshi wanted to give it to me, and he's going to be giving it he's going to be giving an oral transmission of the text. So this is a quite unique and special Ango that we're now inside. It's very exciting. So as part of that transmission, as most of you know, but some of you don't, that I have had the task of going through the Mumonkan. And we are up to case 39. And I'll read you the case. So, just as a way of introduction, a koan is something like a parable, but it's directly speaking to the awakened heart, mind. It's also this sort of magical vial of light that we sort of take in and let it do its work on us. And it shows us our true nature, kind of over and over and over again. So they're sacred spiritual technology, if you will. the case. Unman and a mistake in speech. A monk once asked Unman, "The radiance serenely illuminates the whole vast universe." Before he could finish the first line, Unman suddenly interrupted him. "Aren't those the words of Chosetsu?" The monk replied, "Why, yes, they are." Unman said, "You have slipped up in the words." Mumon's commentary. If, as regards this case, you have grasped Unman's lofty and unapproachable activity and how the monk slipped up in the words, you are worthy to become a teacher of people and heavenly beings. If you are not yet clear about it, you have not even saved yourself. The verse, angling in a swift stream, those greedy for bait will be caught. If you open your mouth even a bit, your life will be lost. So let's take a look and see what we see. So this monk is studying with Unman. He's probably in the assembly just like we are today, right now. And he gets up and he starts to ask Unman this question. The radiance serenely illuminates the whole vast universe. And Unman immediately recognized so many things about the state of the mind of the monk. And this recognition of the state of the mind of the student, of the monk, of the practitioner, is like totally mysterious, actually, where that comes from. It's the Dharma eye of the teacher sort of flashes open, and there's this sort of cosmic, intuitive access to what's happening. It's not something that can be quantified at all. So in this case, Unman saw something about what the monk was saying, and he cut him off. Now, normally, when someone cuts across you in conversation, or if you're trying to ask a question and someone just cuts you off, or even cuts you off on the road, you're kind of like pissed off, right? What did you do that for? But in this case, there is some kind of a different communication going on, right? Before he could finish the first line, Unman suddenly interrupted. "Aren't those the words of Shosetsu?" And the monk said, "Yes, they are." Okay. So why would Unman interrupt him like that if he was asking a really serious question about radiance and illumination, illuminating the whole vast universe? What is the truth of my life? What is the truth? Where is everyone's light? Let light perpetual shine upon them, right? Every religion has this teaching and this core expression of light. That somehow we are participating in the light of God. We are expressing the light of true reality. There's a lot of different ways to say it, but this is like a real heavy, hardcore soul question. Maybe some of you are like, I just got to get through my class. I'm not really, I don't have time for that light right now. I gotta get this assignment going. Into all humans' life falls this question, one way or another. Another way to say this question, what the heck is going on here? Right? What is going on here? Please. So I thought it might be interesting to just listen to the poem that the monk was quoting from, because this was a very famous poem throughout China. The light serenely shines over the whole universe. Ignorant, wise, and living creatures are all in my abode. When no thought arises, the whole is fully revealed. If the six organs move even a little, it is obstructed by clouds. If you cut off your ignorance, your ailment will increase. How interesting. If you look for the truth, you are also in the wrong. Living in accordance with worldly affairs, you will have no obstructions. Nirvana and life and death are like colors in a dream. There's another translation to that is, both nirvana and life and death are no more than empty flowers. So you get a feeling for this particular poem. This was actually Shosetsu's Enlightenment poem. This is how he expressed his experience of this radiance pervading everywhere. But our poor monk, he was just borrowing Shosetsu's words. Right? Big no-no in Zen, right? Kind of a big no-no in life. My family loves those Hallmark cards, right? And every holiday, we have to make the pilgrimage into Hallmark and get these cards. And you don't just get one. You get one for every person who's at the event. So you can be buying 10 different cards, right? And they open the card and they read the inane thing that's said inside. And they're just so thrilled, right? And I really hope they don't listen to this talk. I really doubt they will, but just in case, I love you very much. And that inanity is also the brilliance and the radiance. So it's all good. But nevertheless, it just feels very borrowed and weak and kind of not, let's just say it doesn't really completely turn the seat of consciousness around when you hear the words, right? So, the monk, he's just trying to what is going on, right? He's just trying to ask the question, what is this radiance that everybody's talking about? There's another Zen master who spoke about this radiance as well. When the depths clear, utterly silent, thoroughly illuminate the source, empty and spirited, vast and bright. Then you must take the backward step and directly reach the middle of the circle from where the light issues forth. So, if anyone wants to know, what is Zen practice all about? It's that. That's what you're doing. All right? Make no mistake. That's what you're doing. Because that's our soul's yearning, right? What the heck is going on here? What is the source? What is the ground of being? Who am I? Who is that person sitting next to me? And so Unman, seeing that the monk was giving some version of a hallmark expression using someone else's words, said, "Aren't those the words of Shosetsu?" And the monk replied, "Yes, they are." And this is such a beautiful reply, even though from an awakening point of view, the reply shows that this monk had not opened their Dharma eye, their wisdom eye. Still, even in not opening our wisdom eye is the radiance, right? This is some weird kind of contradiction that the dualistic mind cannot get any purchase in, right? But the mind that goes right to the center of the circle, no problem, sees it right away. It couldn't be otherwise. Okay. Yes, they are. Oh, yes. Okay. So this is such a beautiful, sort of pure response that, like, totally like just being honest. No, those are not my words. Those are somebody else's words. And in that honesty and in that purity, there is totally something to work with. That is Dharma practice. That is Zen practice in a nutshell, right there. Yes, those are not my words. Those are somebody else's words. And of course, what Unman is like going right to the heart of is like, dude, you can't be like just importing someone else's words about this radiant illumination. You've got to experience it directly for yourself. What are you doing? Cut it out. Stop. Right? So there's that sort of, when the Zen master is kind of abrupt. Stop. Afterwards, Zen master Shishin brought the matter up and said, now afterwards is 200 years later. Okay? Just to be clear. Zen master Shishin brought the matter up and said, tell me, at what point did the monk slip? So at what point did the monk totally fall on their butt by using someone else's words? And this is a question that you will be working with in the Dokusan room when you work with this koan. Mumon's commentary. If, as regards this case, you have grasped Mumon's lofty and unapproachable activity. So this lofty and unapproachable activity is the awakened mind cutting through the normal day-to-day conditioned mind's bull, right? That's lofty and unapproachable because the normal, conditioned, everyday mind doesn't really like that very much. It likes to stay in charge, right? And how the monks slipped up in their words. If you can do this, you're worthy to become a teacher of humans and heavenly beings. So in Buddhist cosmology, heavenly beings are also inside of the wheel of samsara, the wheel of conditioned existence, born to die, right? So the Zen master's job is to go to any realm and say, hey, cut it out. Actually, authentically find your way into the middle of the circle, into the source of the light, so that it's actually coming from your own breast. And once it's coming authentically from your own breast, you got it going on, right? You live freely. You've kind of stopped that ache and that confusion and that question, who am I? Who am I? What is going on here? Once you hit the middle of the circle and you see the source of the light, it's like, oh, everything that's arising is this radiance. Even the most kind of icky things are not separate from this radiance. And because they're not separate from this radiance, they are completely workable. Not only workable, but the Buddha arising, there's one Zen master says, when really kind of bad and unwanted things come, it's best to bow down. This is the Buddha appearing before us, helping us to rid ourselves of our attachments and our false thinking. If you are not clear yet, you cannot even save yourself. So, all hands on deck, let's get to work, shall we? Time is very short. Some of us are getting up there, and it's only a few decades left if we're lucky. And each one of us, each and every one of us, it is our birthright to recognize this source of the radiance, to recognize that we're not separate from the source of the radiance. We don't have to add anything at all. There's nothing like that we have to add other than the position that we're in. Whatever karmic position you're in on this cushion is exactly the right ingredients for realizing this radiance that pervades everywhere. I don't think you believe that. Do you believe that? Right? Well, Zen says, don't believe it. Test it. Verify it in your own experience, breath by breath by breath. And if you follow the directions, I repeat, if you follow the directions, you will see for yourself. 100% guaranteed. Nothing will get in your way. The verse, angling in a swift stream, those greedy for bait will be caught. if you open your mouth even a bit, your life will be lost. Wait a minute, I just see something. Oh, okay, we got to do that quick. So, angling in a swift stream. So there's Zen Master Unman, and this guy is just showing his mind, blah, 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 babbling along like a brook. And they're not even his words, right? They're somebody else's words, although he has this deep yearning to know, right? Those greedy for the bait will be caught. So the monk is actually caught in the mind of the Zen master, right? Because the Zen master saw right into that mind. If you open your mouth even a bit, your life will be lost. Well, in this case, you definitely want to jump on the hook that the Zen master just put out for you, right? Because you want to lose that life of inauthenticity. You want to have a true, authentic, radiant life that brings goodness and kindness and joy and clarity to the world. You know, when we say the Kannon Sutra, we have a new translation of this from Dosho, and I like it very much. We haven't quite figured out a way to integrate it. So mornings are compassion, evenings are compassion is what we usually say. Dosho said purity, constancy, bliss, self. Your life, purity, constancy, bliss, self. That's a big S, not a little s. Right? That is our birthright. That is the Buddha nature that we were born with and that we are uncovering and getting used to while we're in the Zendo and while we're with each other, practicing together. When the depths clear, utterly silent, thoroughly illuminate the source, empty and spirited. That's very important, spirited. Vast and bright, luminous. Then you must take the backward step and directly reach the middle of the circle from where the light issues forth. Each one of us can do that.
Beings are numberless, I vow to free.
opportunity is lost. Each of us should strive to awaken. Awaken. Take heed. Do not squander your life.
Thank you for coming to our Wednesday night service. As Dawn mentioned, we're sort of easing our way into our Ango session. So you're welcome. It's okay to talk quietly, or new folks, you're more than welcome to ask questions, especially folks in robes can help. But we are moving towards silence. And just a reminder, if you're staying overnight, 9:30 is lights out. And there's been a little confusion. Lights out means if you're not sitting in the Zendo, you're in your bed, no phone, just you and that practice. That's it. Lights out means lights out. So you're done with the restroom, you're done with the kitchen, all that stuff. Thank you. Please restore the Zendo.